Samsung's secret weapon for 2026 might not be a camera upgrade or a faster chip. It could be something far more important for everyday use. A wider foldable, the latest leak suggests. Samsung is preparing two major foldables, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and a new variant widely referred to as the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide. And if the reports are accurate, this wide model could be the most meaningful evolution the Fold series has seen in years because it tackles the biggest complaint. Foldable users keep repeating awkward aspect ratios. In this script, we're breaking down what the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide is, why the wider design matters, what Samsung's display decision tells us, how One UI 9.0 could make foldables feel finally normal, and why this move could reshape the entire foldable phone market, especially with Apple's foldable rumors heating up. Let's start with the big idea. What does wide actually mean? For years, foldables have tried to be two devices at once, a phone outside and a mini tablet inside. But the problem has always been proportions. Many foldables feel too narrow when folded and too tall or oddly shaped when unfolded. You get black bars on video, cramped split-screen layouts, and apps that don't always behave naturally. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide leak points to Samsung's fix, a new, more tablet-like aspect ratio, potentially around 4:3 or 3:4. That one change could completely transform how the Fold is used, because 4:3 isn't just a random number. It's a classic tablet ratio. It's familiar. It's comfortable for reading, browsing, email, documents, multitasking, and even casual gaming. It's closer to what people already like about small tablets, and it's much easier for apps to scale to without feeling stretched or awkward. If Samsung nails this, the Z Fold 8 Wide won't just be a foldable phone. It becomes a pocketable productivity tablet that happens to fold shut. Now, let's talk about display tech, because this leak includes a detail that's easy to overlook but very telling. Samsung is reportedly sticking with its M13 OLED panels for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and Z Fold 8 Wide, even though the Galaxy S26 Ultra is expected to use the newer M14 OLED materials. On paper, that might sound like Samsung is holding the Fold back, but in reality, it could be the smarter move. M1 for OLED panels may deliver improvements in brightness and color performance, but foldables have unique stresses: bending, pressure points, long-term crease management, and durability over thousands of folds. M13 OLED is a known quantity. It's proven in Samsung's supply chain. It's predictable, and for a foldable, reliability matters as much as wow factor Samsung may be. Choosing stability over pushing the newest materials stack into a form factor that's already difficult to manufacture at high yield. And that's the key takeaway. Samsung appears to be optimizing the Fold 8 lineup for consistency and durability, not just spec sheet bragging rights, because if you're paying flagship money for a foldable, you don't want experimental, you want dependable. So what's the real user benefit of a wider fold? Multitasking. This is where the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide could become a true daily driver for power users. A wider inner display makes split-screen layouts feel natural. Two apps, side by side, stop looking like two skinny phone screens squeezed together. You get more usable width for messaging, email, spreadsheets, and web browsing without constant zooming and reformatting. And it doesn't stop at split screen. A wider canvas improves drag-and-drop workflows, floating windows, and multi-app layouts, especially if Samsung continues to push its taskbar-style interface and productivity features. If Samsung is serious about making the Fold a real laptop alternative in a pinch, the wide design is one of the most practical upgrades it can make. Then there's media, one of the most common frustrations with foldables is video playback. When the screen is too square or too tall, you get large black bars that waste the display you paid for. With a wide variant moving closer to tablet proportions, media becomes more immersive. Video fills more of the screen. The experience feels less like you're watching content through a weird window and more like you're using a true small tablet. And for creators, or anyone who edits photos and videos on their phone, that extra width makes timelines, toolbars, and previews easier to manage. But the aspect ratio story goes deeper than just multitasking and Netflix. Aspect ratio affects everything. How apps scale, how keyboards feel, how web pages fit, how documents display. How games render. How the transition feels between folded and unfolded modes. And historically, foldables have struggled with that transition. You open the phone and the app layout jumps, resizes, or becomes inconsistent. It's impressive the first time, but it can be annoying every day. The Z Fold 8. Wide leak suggests Samsung is trying to bridge the experience, making the folded and unfolded states feel like one continuous device rather than two different shapes, fighting for control. If Samsung can make the aspect ratio more balanced, the Fold starts to feel less like a compromise and more like a natural evolution. Now, let's bring software into the conversation, because hardware alone doesn't make a foldable great. The leak points to one, UI 9.0 being a major piece of the Galaxy Z Fold 8's strategy specifically tuned for foldables. And this is where Samsung has a real advantage. Samsung has been iterating on foldable software for years. While most competitors are still catching up with basic app scaling and multitasking. With One UI 9.0, Samsung is expected to push deeper multitasking tools like more advanced split-screen behavior, stronger drag-and-drop support, more flexible app layouts, and an interface that adapts smoothly whether the device is folded, partially open, or fully unfolded. The goal is simple: make the big screen feel useful every time you open it, not just occasionally. Because the biggest reason people stop using foldable features is friction. If it's not effortless, they default back to using it like a normal phone. One UI 9.0 could be Samsung's answer: remove friction, make multitasking automatic, and make the wide display feel like the reason you bought the phone in the first place. So what does the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide mean for the market? It could be the moment foldables go mainstream, not because they get cheaper, but because they get easier. A wider foldable is a messaging shift. Samsung would be saying, this is not a weird phone with a screen that bends. This is a practical device that replaces two products, and that matters. Because mainstream buyers don't buy innovation, they buy usefulness. A fold that opens into a tablet-like ratio is easier to understand, easier to sell, and easier to justify. Now, add one more element: Apple. Foldable iPhone rumors haven't gone away, and many reports suggest Apple is actively working on a foldable device. Apple entering the foldable market would instantly raise consumer attention and push competitors to sharpen their offerings. And if Apple's foldable timing lines up anywhere near Samsung's Fold 8 era, Samsung needs a clear differentiator. The wide strategy could be that differentiator, because while competitors chase thinner designs or bigger cameras, Samsung can own the core foldable experience: the screen shape, the multitasking flow, and the tablet-like usability that makes foldables feel like the future instead of a gimmick. So here's the real reason the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide could be a game changer, not because it reinvents foldables, but because it fixes them by sticking with a proven old panel for reliability, by shifting to a wider, more tablet-friendly aspect ratio, and by pairing it with One UI 9.0 features designed for real multitasking. Samsung could deliver the most practical fold yet, one that finally feels like it was designed around how people actually use big screens. If this leak is accurate, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 Wide isn't just another model. It could be the fold that turns curiosity into conversions and turns foldables into something people buy for function, not just flex.